Hi, welcome back to another episode. I now have another project car sat behind me here. After the failed attempt of the 147 that I bought last week, I'll pop a link into the video in the description below. I now have a new project to repair and complete. So let me give you a quick walk around and tell you what I think's happened to it and what needs doing to it. As you can see, the bonnet is in quite a state. Judging by the scrape marks and the gouges going in this direction, I would say that it's gone under the back of a lorry or something on a forklift or a pallet has gone straight up into it, and it's created quite a bit of damage. We've got both headlights are damaged. The front bumper has got a little bit of damage which I'm hoping to be able to repair, but it's cracked the headlight and broke the clips on the other side. We've got a rather crushed wing this side, got a damaged windscreen, a few dinks and dents down here which will come out and we can put some filler in those, and the trickiest bit to repair is going to be up here. But I'm hoping if we grind all that back so we've got bare metal, we can pull it back out, bit of filler, and repaint it, and that should look great. So it's a 1.9 Ti sport wagon, if you can tell from the back there, with a 19-inch Ti alloys and side skirts, and it's a 2008 plate, so it does run quite nicely. There's a few other little bits and bobs of damage around it. The front bumper's definitely going to need painting. It's going to need a good clean inside and out. From the amount of sweet wrappers inside, it was a mommy's school run car. A couple of marks on the back bumper and a bit of a scrape on this side here. But on the inside, other than a little bit of leftover glass up there, it's all present and accounted for on the inside and in pretty good condition. Onto under the bonnet, we've got some damage on the headlight support there, so we're going to need to put a new one of those on. And you can see that both the headlight clips here and here are broken, along with one of the bonnet stays has gone. But surprisingly enough, there's not much damage under the engine bay. All the radiators are okay, there's no fluid loss. Engine starts first push of the button. It was sold to me as a non-runner, and I did find out that the reason it wasn't running is because during the accident the battery got damaged. As you can see, it's got a major crack in it there, and all the fluids leaked out of it, so that's why the car wouldn't start, because it didn't have a decent battery on it. So I've now fitted a new battery to it. It now starts first turn of the key and runs absolutely sweet. Let's just remove the engine cover. All under here, just make sure there's no damage on it, as being as that battery was crushed. There is a little bit of damage on this ECU connector here, but it is holding and starting fine. Obviously, I did imagine that some of these pipes would have been bent, but no, they're all fine. Intake manifold is all good. There's nothing else cracked or damaged. There's absolutely no structural damage to it whatsoever. So everything that needs repairing on it is pretty much just bolt-on repairs. On to another update now. I have installed a second ramp into the unit now, so I can do twice as much work at the same time if needed, because I was finding on jobs I was getting stuck and a car was stuck on the ramp when parts didn't arrive or the wrong parts arrived, which surprisingly enough does happen quite often. So that means I put the GTV on the ramp now and the engine can start to come out of that as soon as I get some free time. But mainly I need to earn some pennies on this one. So I'm going to start to repair this, strip it all the way back down. I have got another bonnet for it in the same colour, but it's probably going to need painting anyway. I've got another wing, hoping to repair the front bumper. If not, I will order another front bumper. As I said, I've already got the headlights and I've already got the slam panel in. Hopefully the bonnet catch might be salvageable. We shall see when we take that apart. Today I'm going to be stripping it all back, seeing if I can find any more damage and getting it ready to start putting the new parts back on it. So let's get cracking. So there we go, guys. Front end is now all apart. There's a few little bent bits. We've got the little bonnet stay here, which is bent, and a wing support up the top there, which is bent, which I do need to straighten out. But other than that, it is still a fairly straight car. Most of the brunt of the damage has been taken on the bonnet and on the A-pillar. Okay, just lined up the front panel, and you can see that that bolt is pointed up in the air a little bit, so I just need to take a little hammer and just flatten it down again, and it's raised it up a little bit on this side as well. So a few taps of the hammer and that'll go on lovely. Okay, I've now got the front panel on roughly. I just need to re-tap a thread because one of the threads isn't too good in it, and then I'm going to pop the headlights in, and then we'll see if the wing will line up as well. Okay, right, now I've got a front end on there now. Because I've had to fit new hinges to it, the alignment of the bonnet is well out at the moment. So I am going to have to readjust that. It's far too far over this side, and it is catching on the wing on that side, so I do need to give it a little bit of adjustment. But other than that, I do need to pull in this wing a little bit. It does seem to have taken a little knock, but that is adjustable, so I should be able to readjust that. Don't know how I managed it, but the bonnet is exactly the same colour, but it is probably going to be painted as well. Repaint the whole front end on this, and rear bumper I'll paint that as well. So the fitment on the wing, everything is only sort of test fitted at the minute, so it's not bolted very tight at all. Plenty of movement still on that wing to move that over a little bit more. There you go, look. And everything does line up there as well. It's all pretty good up there. So it's just this damage which has got to be repaired. I'll start doing this in the next video. Just need a little bit of a pull there, some filler up here, a new screen obviously, lots of pulling and jiggling up on top there. But we'll get that done, and then finally we shall have a new screen fitted to it. Okay, that's a little bit better. It does still need to come over a little bit more. I think the majority of it is adjustment in the wing up the top here. it does need to come over that little bit more, and the bonnet can come down a little bit. Okay, so there we go. The front end is all back on, all it be loosely, but it's back on for now. It's going to have to be stripped down again so I can paint all the body panels on it. I'm starting work again on the 159 Ti this morning. I have stripped the wing off it. I've already started prepping it. Taken the front bumper off, I've started prepping that as well. I'm now going to start painting the bonnet. I have protected the engine bay with a bit of cover. I'm going to start by sanding in 500 grit all over. And I'm going to find all the stone chips, fill the stone chips up, get rid of all those, and then we can get ready for some primer later today. Now, I'm not a professional body guy. This is all sort of self-taught, and I've got friends in the body industry and I've learned things off them, so I'm probably doing things wrong if you're a professional body guy, but I am still learning the processes of painting, so let's see how we get on with it. Okay, filled in all the big stone chips now. I'm going to let that dry for half an hour, and sand it all down, and then I can start preparing the wing. So it's had about 30-40 minutes to dry off now, so I'm just going to sand it down with the sander, and then I can move on to doing the wing. Okay, all sanded down now. Just giving it a quick wipe with panel wipe just to get rid of a lot of the dust. So I now need to get it into my makeshift booth. I need a little bit of acid etch primer where I've gone through there and there. I have also prepped this wing. I am going to be blending it into the door, but I've not prepped that yet, because I just need to scotch pad that down when I am ready to paint it. So now let's move some cars about to get this in the booth, start masking it up, and then I can mix some primer up. I've already put some acid etch on some of the spaces on the wing. I've given that a rub down, so that's almost ready to go into the booth as well. Okay, we're now in my makeshift booth. I am now going to start masking it all up and covering the whole car, ready for a nice coat of primer. Okay, I've just finished all the masking now. I've given it a wipe over with panel wipe. I'm now going to use a tack cloth to get rid of any dust which is on it, and then we can give it a coat of primer. Wasn't entirely happy with my primer gun. It was a little bit sticky, and the spread wasn't going as wide as it should do. But it is only a cheap primer gun, so I am going to have to get another one of those for the next time I've got to do some priming. So now we just need to leave that to dry overnight, and then we'll then flat it down, and then it's ready for paint. Okay, here with my new toy, my little spot welder. I have had a little go down here and I have pulled that little dent out. Obviously I'm not going to get it perfect, so it is going to require some filler on top. So let's crack on and see if I can do any better up top. Okay, I've pulled a lot of the dents out. Does it look pretty? No, it doesn't. I do need to fill a few of the holes because it has left a few holes in the metal, but that's easy enough to weld up. But yeah, good coat of filler now, and that should line up pretty well. This is where I've mainly worked to pull a lot of the dent out of it, and it is a lot higher. I do need to do a little bit more work on this side here, but it is looking a darn sight better, and it's not going to need half as much filler. Okay, I'm just on my second layer of filler now, just getting some better shape to it and raising the contours to be exactly like the other side. So I'll probably get that sanded down within the next half an hour, and then probably another couple more layers of filler just to get the right shape and any waves out of it, and we should be ready for paint by this weekend, I'm hoping. Alright, now on the third level of sanding down. Still quite a way to go, but we are getting there. We are getting shape back into the top of it. If you look at the two, the shape's getting back there. Okay, a bit more progress now. I think I'm hopefully down to the last lot of filler. It's taken me a good few hours of constantly filling, sanding, and trying to get it level. We are very, very nearly there. As I say, we've got a nice gap in here again now. It was where I've had to hammer some of the high points back down. That's where I've had to refill it again here, and the same here. And there was a little bit of a low point there, so I have just popped a little bit more filler there, and there was just a couple of little pinholes in the filler there, so I've had to put a little bit more there as well. So hopefully tomorrow that will be the end of the sanding. Okay, managed to spend another few hours on the vehicle this afternoon. I have managed to finish the filling. Well, I thought I'd finished the filling. I've given it a coat of primer, filler primer, just so I can get an idea of where the levels are. The roof is pretty much done. I've just got a few little pinholes and stuff that I need to fill. I need to go and get some super fine surface filler for that. But the bit that I need to do more filler work on is here. I've seemed to have sanded it a bit flat, so I'll get some more filler and lift that up, because if you can see the line there, it's a bit wobbly, so it seems to come here, go down to there, so another layer of filler from here to here, just to work the shape back into it, and that should be done. I've also decided that I wasn't happy with the front bumper. There was just too many repairs to do on it, so I bit the bullet and bought a brand new bumper. I bought brand new grills for it as well. So apparently it's already primed, but it will get primed again and flatted because there are a few little imperfections on it, but not many. So I'm looking forward to when I can finally get the paint on and get this refitted. Okay, after several days of filling and priming, I've finally got it finished and in a light coat of primer. Filled all the little dimply holes. I've put this weather strip in just so we can see the line matching up where I've done the repair. I've not fitted it all the way in, all the way back there. But yeah, I'm quite happy with that. It does seem pretty good. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to give the car a wash over because it's absolutely covered in dust. I've deliberately damaged the window seal because we're having a new one when the new screen's fitted. So I can get the lacquer and paint right the way in the edges. So I've not bothered filming a lot of the sanding work because I would imagine watching it is just like watching paint dry. So I didn't think I'd get many views on that, or you'd be skipping through it. So I thought, no, we won't record that. We'll just let you see snippets of the important bits instead. So let's give it a wash, get it dried and get it masked up, ready for paint next week. Hi there, here with the weekly project update on the 159. I have done a little bit more work on it, but I haven't done as much as I wanted to because I've been ever so busy doing repair work this week. So let me give you a walk around and I'll tell you what I've done. Okay, the bonnet's been polished a couple of times. We are very nearly there with that now. The driver's door is all been polished. I do need to polish the rest of the car. The roof is now all done. I do still need to get the windscreen replaced. That should be done over the next few weeks. The thing I haven't had a chance to do is the wing. That still needs to be painted. I ran out of paint, so I had to order some more. That's all here now. I did also get time to realign this side of the bonnet. That's all perfectly in line now. What I'm going to do now, over the last few weeks I've been filming me painting the vehicle. So I'm going to stick a little montage in now for you to watch and see what's been done to it. Okay, so I've put the door back together and polished half this door and also finished the complete painted door. Colour match is absolutely spot on. And now the door is lovely and flat. It will need another polish and a wax, but I want to let the paint cure some more first before I do that. And I've also been rubbing the bonnet down. So mainly flat now, just a lot of the edges I need to finish off now. And then we can get that polished up. As you can see, there was a few bits of dust that got into it, but they will all disappear as soon as I finish flatting it. Okay, right, time to tackle the run which I've got here. It's just along there. You can't really see it probably on the camera, but watch, as soon as I sand it a little bit, it will become quite apparent on where the run is. As you can see it there now. So let's just sand that out. Okay, so the bonnet's had about 30 minutes of polishing. It's not quite there yet, but we're very nearly there with it. Let's just walk around the other side so you can see the reflection of the building in it. There we go, what do you think of that? There's a few dull spots which still need some more polishing. So you can probably make it out there on camera, a little bit here. But yeah, it needs another good half an hour of polishing, and that should get that looking lovely. So now the bonnet's nearly done. Need to move over to this side and get the wing and the door polished. And then next week, once the roof's had time to dry more, I will paint the roof and polish the rest of the car. I've still got to paint the wing, because I've ran out of paint now. Typically I ordered just enough to paint everything once, not twice. So I'm going to order some more paint on Monday, and then once the paint's done we can start putting it all back together. But as now the roof's now painted and all finished, I can put the airbag back in and all the trim panels and the headline in, and get the inside tidied up, because it is now rather dusty and dirty. It was dirty anyway, because I think it was a bit of a mommy's car before I had it, so it's rather full of sweet wrappers and sticky sweets and things like that, so it'll have a good clean out. Okay, spent another hour or so putting stuff back together inside the car. All the headliners back up, all the front door trims are back on. Giving this side of the car a quick polish, but it is all dusty again now. As you can see, a colour match is absolutely spot on. Credit to the guy who mixed it. With any luck, it should have a new screen in it by the end of the month, and then I'm hoping it'll be all finished. There are a couple of bits of mechanical work I need to do on it. We've got a whistling coming from the turbo, so the very worst case it's going to need another turbo on it. Hopefully it's just an air leak. We've got a broken spring on the back here. I have got a new one already ready to go on it. We need to see if we can get this rear bumper to polish up a tad. It's like they've had a slight kiss with something there. Hopefully it won't need painting. Hi, this is Neil at Italia Autos, and welcome to part 6 of my Alfa Romeo 159 rebuild. As you can see, I have now painted and partially fitted the wing. So in today's episode I'm going to be fitting the front bumper, fitting a new arch liner and rear lining the wing, ready for next week when the front windscreen goes in and the car will have its final polish. Now, one of the things I forgot to do underneath the wing is I've got a broken bolt which I forgot to drill out, so I'm just going to do that now. The body gap down there is spot on. The front bumper alignment could be a little bit better there, it's sticking out a little bit, but we'll try and get that in later on. I do need to just pull this wing round a little bit more because the gap is a little bit larger than I'd like it to be. But other than that, it is pretty good all the way up. I have just spoken to the windscreen company. That is being fitted tomorrow. So here we are, windscreen's now fitted, bodywork's had a good coat of polish. Still a few jobs left to do on it, but I do believe it's looking rather good. Body lines are fully adjusted now. Jobs left to do. I've got to fit the front number plate, fit the wing badges, and give it a fresh MOT, cam belt and a service, and we're done. But finally glad that the bodywork's all done. I think I'm quite pleased with that. You comment in the comments below and let me know what you think of the bodywork. There's the roof, all repaired and looking nice and shiny. I will put in a few photos showing the condition of the car when I first bought it, just so you can remember what that was like. So there we go. This is probably going to be the last video in this series because it's all finished pretty much now. But I will be doing a few more how-tos on this car. I'll be doing the cam belt guide. But other than that, the car will be up for sale next week. So if you are interested in buying it, let me know. So thanks a lot for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. The all-important final touch.